So, Luke, it's December 14th. It's a basketball game against Tennessee. Sold out crowd. They hand you the mic. Walk me through that moment.
Incredible. It's hard to put into words. A moment that had, been created by so many great people around me with the media team and the coaches and all the people around me who helped create that moment, first of all. But a moment that you always dream about, to be in a moment like that, to be cheered for, to be recognized like that is something that, as a kid, as me wanting to be a college football player, you want to be, felt as seen, recognized, and cheered for. It's to be in that moment means you've done some really cool things. So it's cool. It's great. I've always dreamed about it, but I know it's important, and that's the work that I do to create those moments, to create a moment coming up in the future, hopefully, to be even bigger. So I'm super grateful for it. I'm super grateful for the people around me, but it's a moment I'll certainly remember forever, and certainly that I'll maybe probably get emotional about down the line, but it's super, super cool.
What specifically was the message, if we could just relive it for a second?
Yeah, just honestly how grateful that I am, one, for this place. Never in a million years, being a kid from Mississippi, did I ever think about playing football here at the University of Illinois and being on that court in that moment. Never in a million years would I ever think that I would be in that position. But so really gratitude and thanksgiving to the people, to the fans, to the atmospheres I've played in, to my teammates and my coaches, and that I was coming back. Simply, that I was excited for first of all the Citrus Bowl going forward, but for this 2025 season and what we can do is something that I was really wanting to convey in that message, to get fans excited, to get the buzz started. So super, super thankful for it.
You said you never could have imagined being here playing at the University of Illinois. What did the response from those Illini fans mean to you in that moment?
Unbelievable. I think that's the thing that I'll remember forever. Like I said, to be able to have that response, to be recognized like that, to hear the roar of the fans means you've done something pretty good as a player and in the community and as a teammate, and to be able to be in that moment, like I said, it's something you dream about as a kid. To be kind of on center court with the spotlight on you and in front of the Illini fans, and it's something that I'll remember forever. To hear the reaction of those people, to feel the passion, to feel the excitement for me, and in that moment, it's easy to kind of look inward and think it's all about me. It's all about me. But like I said, I understand, at this point in my career, what's important, and that is, pouring into others and the work that it's took to be in that moment, and that'll never change, and it's only grown stronger because of moments like that. I'm able to recognize it.
Can you walk me through the decision to come back? I mean, you've been in the portal before. Quarterbacks,
Right.
They can go in and out, year in and year out. But the decision to come back and what you wanted out of this extra year here at Illinois. Yeah,
a lot went into it, a lot of decisions. We'd obviously come off a historic season here at the University of Illinois, and I think the main thing is we know we could do it coming back and then some, to be able to do it here at a place that hadn't done it a lot before, and that's just the truth. And there was a lot of factors that go into it, with returning pieces, with external factors, with going to the next level or venturing on somewhere else. There's a lot, and I had to do what was best for myself. And the truth is, being here, in this place was the best thing for me personally, physically, with my game, and what we can accomplish as a team this year. We got a lot of pieces back. Our coaching staff, for the most part, is back, and that's a big deal. There's a lot of comfortability in what we're doing, and a lot of excitement, a lot of work that's going in to create 10 wins like we did this year, but more. We want more, and we're very confident, and we're working hard to create that. So it's exciting.
So many players move around or make decisions and hop in the portal. So many guys coming back from Illinois, 18 from the bowl game, right. 18 starters. What does it say about this program?
Yeah, that's a big reason why I came back. And obviously we had a lot of good players coming back, but a lot of good people coming back, and a lot of great people, starting with Coach Bilma. The connection, the leadership, the integrity, the consistency that he brings to our program every single day is the truth, and it's real. And people talk about in their programs, family this, family that, but the family here is certainly grounded. It's real, and it's the truth, and that's a big reason why these people come back. J.C. Davis, Gabe Ackes had opportunities to go to the next level and make a lot of money, but they wanted to be a part of this program, be around these people who love each other and who love the opportunities that are presented to them. So it's something that we love playing. Obviously, we love competing, but we love being around each other, and that's that's a real thing. Everybody on this team is friendly and is friends with the guy next to him. You know, whether I'm from Mississippi and the guy across from me is from Canada or Europe or, you know, Florida or Illinois, like, we all have just such a special connection, and that has started with, you know, the guy up top, Coach Bilma, and trickling on down from coaches to players and even support staff, trainers, you know, custodians, all that. It's a joy, you know, kind of waking up and coming to this building every day.
Tell me a little bit about what it's like to play for Coach Bilma. We see him, we see some of the antics, we see some of the fieriness in the press conferences. What's he like day to day?
It's, I mean, like I've, you know, just quoted on before, you know, consistency, character, integrity, leadership, connection, communication, all those things are real. Like, you know, I could be blowing smoke about that, but I mean, if you were in our building or anybody, they would see that consistency, and the way he cares and loves is certainly, it's just the truth. It is, and we love playing for him because of it. You know, he loves us, and he shows it every single day, and it's real. And he's been successful everywhere he's been. You know, he's been in this business forever, and we trust in his principles, values, and the way he communicates to us, and we love playing for him. He's a great guy and a great family man, and he's a great football coach, and that's just the bottom line. He's proven it, and a lot of people haven't. So there's a lot of comfort knowing that he's at the top and running things and commanding the ship because of, first of all, he's done it at the highest level and he's been at the NFL and won championships, and but also he's a friend. You know, he's a guy who loves strong, you know, feels strongly, and we feel that, and it really carries on, you know, with us to the field and the way we prepare and the way we fight for him.
What do you think the identity of a Bret Bielema team is?
Yeah, tough. He talks about it every single day: tough, smart, dependable, and that's just the mentality, being the toughest physically and mentally, spiritually, emotionally on that field and in this building and wherever you go every single day, being smart in the way you play, the way you prepare, the way you work, and being dependable, you know, showing up and being consistent every single day, and knowing that the guy across from you can trust me. And that's something that he preaches every single day, something that we see visibly, you know, in the team meetings every single day. And beyond that, it's, you know, doing what's right. And he preaches that to us a lot, and respecting others and being the best you. And so all those things are outside of the game of football, and that's the identity. It's character. It's building trust, building love, building connection, and all of that, you know, kind of circulates and culminates into being the best football player that we can be and the best team that we can be. And so that's everything, is character and development and integrity and love and all those things. Man, it really helps us become where we want to go as a football team.
What did you make of his little incident at the Citrus Bowl?
Yeah, I think it's just another way to show that he cares. He cares about winning. He cares about his players. Originally, he was going over there to check on his player who was down, who was hurt, and that's something he would do for anybody. So, and he happened to be on their sideline and let the passion and let the love that he has for his team and winning and the fear of losing come out. And so we were fired up, you know, and as everybody's in the stands, and that's something that we notice in a good way. I think it makes us play even harder for him, knowing that he's got our back and he's fighting for us and fighting for, you know, the best outcome, and that is to win and for us to be, you know, to get where we want to go. So it means a lot, you know, to be able to see that he's a human too, because he's very stoic and he's very even keel, but to see the passion come out, to see the realness of his character come out, man, that's cool. We love it. We fight for him. So
you played in the SEC, grew up in SEC country. How rewarding was that win over an SEC opponent, but to cap off, like you said, a historic season? Yeah, it's easy to make it about me being an SEC kid wanting to play. You know, I'm from Mississippi, and SEC football is king. You know, even bigger than the NFL at some levels, even in my eyes at least. I grew up going to all types of SEC games and being in those environments, and that's all I ever wanted to do, is be a college football player in that conference. So to be able to be where I am now, like I said, never in a million years would I would expect to be in Illinois, playing against a big-time SEC program and winning that game. It means a lot to me, but it's so much bigger than me. You know, it's you know, Illinois and the program really hadn't been successful against that conference, you know, ever. So to be able to be the first team that does it, to be able to kind of get us in a good direction moving forward, is bigger than me, certainly, and the excitement that it creates amongst fans, community, to springboard us into this year, knowing that we can compete with the highest, you know, the highest level and the highest conference that some may say in all of college football. It's a big deal, and it's a lot bigger than me, but it was really special to be able to be in that moment, and something I've always dreamed about. So to be able to be in it, but to win was really cool. You've mentioned the 10 wins, all the historic success you guys had last year, great bowl win. How do you continue that success? You're not going to sneak up on anybody this year.
And that's something that we've asked for. We've asked to be talked about. We've asked to be put in these conversations. That means you've done something really well. But like I said, I think me personally and this team and Coach Bilma, obviously, they know what's important, and that is the work that it takes to get to where you want to go. The daily mindset of just getting better, 1% better every single day, and the mindset of it's us against us. If we do what we're capable of doing and maximizing our opportunities and our moments to prepare, we'll get to the pinnacle. We'll get to the mountaintop of where we want to go. But if we focus on the outside and outward and what other people are doing, that'll lead to failure, I think. But we know it's important, and that is the work, and that is what we do every single day, not what we say. So it's something that we've asked for, to be in this position, to be able to be talked about in the playoff contention and things like that. But we know what created that, and that is the hard work and the tough, smart dependability that is preached to us every single day. And that's something that we don't take for granted, and we maximize our opportunities every single day.
So when you talk about like the pinnacle of the sport, is it the college football playoff?
It's the highest you can go. The highest you can go, whether it's national championship, Super Bowl, whatever it is. Like we want to be our best, and we know doing what we're capable of doing, maximizing our talents and abilities, and maximizing our opportunities will take us to that. And we believe as a team that we can do it. We won 10 games. Nobody gave us a shot last year. We know that with what we have returning, with the level of trust that we have amongst everybody in this building, man, we're not afraid of anybody to go compete at the highest of highest levels. So we're excited. We know our talents, we know our abilities, and we know that when we put it all together, when we focus on maximizing those moments that we have in this building on a normal day in April, it'll create such a lot of success in September and throughout January, we hope. So we work hard. We expect it too. We expect success, and that's a big piece of it. We believe and we're confident in what we have. So the highest of high that you can get, to the college football playoff national championship, that's where we want to go. But we know working hard every single day and doing what we have to do creates it.
So you, as a quarterback, you really cut down on your interceptions and mistakes last season. What were the keys to that?
Yeah, it's a lot of different things. Fundamentals with kind of understanding the system. Getting back to play and the speed of the game of college football. It was really my first year starting, so I was learning, I was failing, which was all good. But honestly, I think just exposure to the game, exposure to seeing different defenses, to understanding the people around me, to being comfortable, in my position, making decisions. So exposure and experience is one thing, but I think just the work, I really focused on it. I knew I had a lot of turnovers, kind of in that 23 season, and I knew I had to work on it, and I did. I focused on, maximizing my talents and abilities to be my best self, on those Saturdays moving forward. So I'm glad I can put my team in good positions, and I'm going to continue to work on it. And decision making is a big deal, and it puts our teams in a lot of good positions, and I understand that now going into my, kind of final year.
5 game-winning drives in the final minute or overtime, best in the country at that. What allows you to have success in those very stressful moments?
Yeah, just trust, preparation, exposure to the situations. I've done it. And, I kind of just my mentality, my overall, the way I think and the way I perceive the game or just in general about how I perceive life, understanding that the moment is just the moment, and the game is just the game, and making the play within the play is all that matters. Not 2 plays down the line or 3 plays down the line. Understanding where I am on the field, the timeouts, the score, all these different scenarios. It's something I just prepare for it. That's it. I train it, and I'm not afraid of it. I'm not afraid of what I see in a defense or any of that. I trust the people around me. I trust the coaches are going to put me in good positions, and I go execute it. And that's the bottom line, because I've worked really hard to do it. And another piece of it is I love those moments. I love the pressure. I love all eyes. I love the kind of the moment where it comes down to it, and you got to make the play, and trust in your training is what I do. And it allows me to be free, and allows me to be myself and to make the necessary plays to go win the game.
In those moments, does everything slow down? Like, what is it like in your brain?
Well, it's kind of the opposite. The game almost speeds up a little bit, so you're almost mindless out there. You're not thinking about, every little thing. You're just kind of letting your talents and abilities take over, and your preparation and your training take over. The game sped up because it's kind of 2-minute operation. You're trying to get on the ball, get some snaps off, but I'm out there just trusting what I see, snapping the ball, and going with it. And I've realized that when I do that, when I'm not overthinking, when I'm not thinking about what could go wrong on this play, man, I'm doing what's right. And that's trusting my training, trusting my abilities, and trusting the people around me. And that has shown to be very successful for us. And I'm excited to carry that moving forward. And I'm excited for those moments.
Is the NFL the goal for the next step for you?
For sure, I want to play as long as I can. For sure, I've loved athletics and sports, and I grew up playing basketball, baseball, and football, and being a professional athlete is every kid's dream. So, and I love this game. I love it, and I want to be a part of it for as long as I can. And I know I can. I know I'm talented. I know I have abilities, and I work really hard. So, it's certainly something that I know I can achieve, and something I'm excited for if the Lord takes me there. So. I want to be the best I can be, and I know that that's going to be a part of that story if I continue to pour into my craft and continue to have the right mindset with it. So I'm excited for what's ahead, but focused on the moment, and that I know focusing on the moment will get me to that mountaintop.
So you guys have to bring in some new talent in the receiving room. What do you expect out of that group, and kind of how do you build chemistry with new receivers?
Yeah, it's been good. Kind of coming off last year, we lost 2 really, really good pass catchers, and Pat Bryant and Zachary Franklin, who are going to go do some really, really cool things in the next level. And I wish I could have those guys back because they made me look so good throughout that year. But man, we got some young talent, and we brought in some good receivers who to really take. To be those guys for us this year, and it takes a lot of work. And brought in a kid from West Virginia, Hudson Clement, and a guy from Ball State, Justin Bowick. But we also have some younger guys who made some plays for us last year, who are ready to take that next step, to ready to take college football by storm, and to make a big impact for our team. So it takes a lot of work, understanding their strengths and weaknesses, and them understanding mine. And it's not just within spring football or fall camp, but in the winter, in the summer, in off times in the month of May, and right after the season, even to be able to develop confidence and to be able to create what we want to create in the fall season. So it's fun. It's a process, and you got to be patient with it. But you got a lot of talent in there. It's I'm excited to see those guys maximize it.
When you're away from football, what are some of the hobbies, and kind of how do they help you with everything that we've been discussing?
Yeah, I think balance is key in life. I focus a lot on this game and football and being in this building and preparing, but it's burnout is a real thing. So I think balance is really key, and it's something I've learned. But being from Mississippi and being from the South, being outdoors, being in nature, hunting and fishing is something that is a cornerstone to people down there, and certainly to my family. So hunting and fishing, duck hunting, waterfowl, deer hunting, bass fishing is something that I do when I go down there, but I also bring it up here with me in Illinois. So that's something I enjoy, being in the natural world. Being in kind of quiet settings is something that's really cool, but also like kind of photography and something I've always wanted to be. When I was a kid, if it wasn't a professional athlete, I wanted to be an astronaut or kind of a wildlife, kind of natural, kind of photographer, and that's something that I enjoy, and it's something that's outside of the game, and it gets my mind off of it, which is a good thing. Balance is really key, and so those are 2 things I enjoy, but kind of hunting and fishing is something that allows me to be around people I love, so it's cool.
So on the photography front, like how many cameras or lenses, like how much are we messing around?
Not a whole lot. I have a kind of a Olympus film 35 millimeter camera, and it's something that I just picked up 2 years ago. Actually, my buddy that I went to high school with, he was kind of venturing off with it, and I thought it was so cool, and it's something I've always enjoyed, and being able to capture moments like that. So I got myself a camera off of eBay, and a little 35 millimeter camera. It's pretty expensive because they don't sell them like that anymore. But it's something that I do. It's something that I try to when I go on vacations, or even when I'm home, or just around different events. I try to capture moments, and it's cool. They're aesthetic, and it's cool to kind of reflect on those moments. I look through them all the time, so it's something I enjoy.
Yeah, like Ken Griffey Jr. at the Masters. Like this could be
for
it.
sure.
Just
Yeah,
taking
for
photos
sure.
of other sports.
Maybe I'll be doing that one day. Yeah, it's
No
cool.
more astronaut goal though?
Maybe. I would love to. If Elon wants to send me to Mars or the moon, sign me up. That'd be so cool. But I don't know, I've always been interested with just the natural world, and outer space is a part of it. And looking up every night and seeing the stars is something that's always fascinated me. And so it's so cool. It allows me to get outside of my own thinking and myself and to into reality in the real world. So I don't know. I have different interests and hobbies than the next person, and that's just what I like. So I don't know.
A little different than the football field. It's nice.
Yeah, for sure, which is really good. Which is really good. Yeah.
You've said you're tired of people disrespecting the Illinois football program. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, I mean, there's no secret that Illinois hasn't been a great, winning culture, whatever you want to call it, and throughout history. It's been a team that's been looked down upon because they haven't won a whole lot of games, and that's just the bottom line. Sure, there's been some really great years in throughout history, but for a long time, people look at Illinois and kind of look the other way. They turn their head, which I understand. I lived in kind of the South and SEC country, and when you think of Illinois, you don't think about football, and that's just the bottom line. And so, with Coach Bilma, what he's created, his first year here, winning 8 games and kind of getting that back on track in 2023, not doing what we wanted to do, but this year, with the pieces that we have and what we have around us and the way we work, and we can compete with anybody, and that's what we know. And throughout that year, we knew that, and we weren't getting the respect that we deserved. So we just kept proving that we were going to win. We didn't win every single game, but we won some big ones, and we put ourselves in good positions, and we're going to keep on doing that. And we want people to notice, and if they don't, we're just going to keep on going. So it's cool, but we understand what's important at the end of the day.
Do you take it personally?
I don't know. Maybe my younger self would, but outside voices and outside noise, and it doesn't affect what's important, and that's just what matters, and that is what we do in here every single day. And when we get our opportunities against the big dogs, we got to go put our money where our mouth is, and so we're excited about that. But we understand, our culture, and or not our culture, the program's history hadn't been respected, but we understand that now's our time to go change that and change that narrative. So we just do what we do and let everything else come to us. But we're not afraid to go compete, and whether that's with the SEC and the Big Ten big dogs or the media, I don't care. We're going to go compete in every facet of life.